welcome back to Luigi's Kitchen. I'm so glad that you're here because today we're going to be making another one of my mother's very special recipe. She's called macaroni pie, and we make it with linguine. I know we call it the macaroni. It's really linguine pie, but I don't know. That's how she called it, so we're going to call it the same thing, macaroni pie. So let's talk about the linguine and why I like a linguine and not the spaghetti for this recipe and for most of my recipes. First of all, this linguine is flat. Spaghetti is round. When you suck this up into your mouth, it feels much better coming through your lips because it's flat than it's round. And by the way, a little hint, don't slurp in public, please. Because when you slurp in public, you look like a caffone, and you don't want to be that, you know. What is a caffone? A caffone is Italian for a low-class guy, and you don't want to be that. And I say guy because I know the ladies, they don't slurp in the public, eh? At least I hope not. So when you're in the privacy of your own home in the kitchen, it's okay, you want to slurp your pasta. But when you're outside in a public, in the restaurant, please eat like a normal human being, okay? All right, so now what are we going to do? We're going to take this 1 pound of pasta, we're going to cook it in 1 gallon of water, and a tablespoon of salt. And after that, then we're going to go to step number 2. All right. We take the pound of the pasta, put it right into the pot all at once. Put in a tablespoon of salt. You want to have the salt because otherwise, without the salt, it's going to taste not very good. And don't forget that once Luigi forgot the salt, you know what happened? People went, oh, Luigi, this doesn't taste so good. And then I remembered too late, I forgot the salt. And you want to stir, make sure you stir all of the time. You know, we're going to go and we're going to make the other ingredients while this sits. But every couple of minutes, come back and stir, because otherwise, if you don't stir the pasta, you know what happens? It becomes like a big lump of a glue. And you don't want the glue, because who wants to eat the glue? Okay, now that we got the pasta cooked, you know, we're going to do the second step, which is the ingredients that are going to go into the pasta, which we are then going to bake in the oven and to make the macaroni pie. Okay, so first of all, we need 4 eggs. And remember what I told you once upon a time? I said you wanted a farm fresh egg, not the factory farm egg, please, because the farm fresh egg, you got a happy chicken makes a good egg makes a good recipe. And please, always use the best recipe ingredients, okay? Oh, now look, I got a little shell in the dish because I'm talking to you and no look. So if your hands are clean, you reach in and you take out of the shell, that's okay. Now, into the eggs, we're going to put a little bit, half a cup, Pecorino Romano cheese. Not too many people know Pecorino Romano is a cheese from the sheep, not from the cow. Now, this is good because if you got what do they call it, the lactose intolerance, this is good because it's a sheep milk, it's not cow milk. And the way you can be sure that you get the real sheep milk cheese, it has to say Pecorino Romano. You see, Romano, it's just the region. It's like means from around Rome, but Pecorino is from the word pecore, which means a sheep in Italian. So when you get the Pecorino Romano, you know you got the real sheep milk cheese, because sometimes it just says Romano, and then you don't know. Is it the sheep milk? Is it the cow milk? So make sure it says Pecorino. So we put that in, and we mix it up. And by the way, you could use a Parmigiano, that's okay. It's from the cow, but I like the Romano because it's from the sheep. And, you know, if you got the problem with the lactose intolerance, like I said, you don't got to worry. Like if you got friends, maybe they got some kind of problem. But, you know, I don't want to ask my friends because who knows? They made, it's a private question. So that's why I like the Romano. So we mix that up, and then we add very simple 1/2 teaspoon ground black pepper. This is going to be so easy. You're going to say, Luigi, I don't know why I didn't make this before. And by the way, you know, if you kids like a macaroni and cheese, and I know every kid that likes a macaroni and cheese, they're going to love this recipe. Oh, just so you know about the cheese, you don't have to buy the brick of the cheese and grate it. You know, you can buy grate already in the store because they got the nice people grate it for you. But if you want to be a big shot in your kitchen and show your friends, oh, look at me, I grated the cheese, that's fine. But please don't use the old-fashioned grater, because, when I was a kid, that was my job. My mother would say, hey, Luigi, go grate the cheese. And we had the old-fashioned grater, and I take the cheese, and when I got it down to the end of the brick, my finger, the scraper under the grater, and I get the blood all over the cheese. That's no good. So if you wanted to grate and be big shot, okay, but you don't have to use the old-fashioned grater, because you can use this thing here. It's called a microplane. And when I first heard the microplane, I thought it was a tiny little airplane. I swear, this language is so difficult. Sometimes I think they make it up just to torture people like me. Anyway, this is what you can use now to be a big shot in your kitchen and show your friends. You can do it even in front of your friends. Okay, now we're going to go get the pasta, we're going to drain it, and then we're going to mix this into the pasta. Let's go. So we got to see if it's ready. Now, you can always look at the package. They say it's a cook maybe 7 minutes, some say 9 minutes, but I say always the best way to tell if it's ready is you got to taste. And don't be a sissy, say, oh, I can't touch the pasta, it's too hot. Don't be a sissy. You got to take it with your finger. Ah, that's a perfect. Turn off the gas, and next we're going to take and drain the pasta in the colander. I like that word, colander. It's fancy, it's not the strainer. Okay, let's go. Now we're going to pour this out, and by the way you want this pasta to be is al dente. You don't want it too soft, and you don't want it too hard. Al dente, and that's the only way you know al dente is when you taste. A little bit on the harder side, not too soft. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't drain completely dry. Okay, leave a little moisture into the pot, okay? Okay, so now that we got the pasta, we're going to take a quarter cup of butter, and we're going to put it right into the hot pasta. And then what that's going to do, that's going to melt right into the pasta. Oh, that's a delish. We're going to then pour in the egg and the cheese mixture. Now we stir that around, and this, can you see how rich and golden this is? Now you stir it, you mix it good, because you don't want to have any lumps of the butter. You want to make sure the butter all totally melt, and the eggs and the cheese is all mixed nice and good with the black pepper. You don't have to salt this because you salted the water with the pasta, and then you pour it right into the pan. And make sure you grease the pan first, please. And now you spread around, because you want to make it nice and even. You don't have to be perfect, don't get crazy. It's going to be nice. Then you take the pepper, and now, if you got the kids, don't put the pepper all around. Because the kids, sometimes they don't like the black pepper, but then you just put it on the halves, because the grown-ups, they're going to like it with the pepper. The other half are going to be no black pepper on the top. That's all, very easy. Then we take it and we put it into the oven at 375, and it's going to be for about 30 minutes. That's all. And put it, very important, put it on the bottom shelf. There we go. That's going to make it nice and brown on the bottom. And then after the 30 minutes, we're going to move it up to the top shelf and turn up the heat, and we're going to make the top nice and crispy. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Now, what do you want to do? You want to take it and move it up to the upper shelf, and you push up at the temperature to 475, and it's only going to be for 10 minutes. That's all, not more. Maybe even 5. You can check after 5. What do you want to do? You want to get at the top nice and crispy, and then you know it's going to be perfect the time to get out. But if you got a gas oven, that's a different story. Then you put under the gas oven a broiler, turn it up to broil for maybe 1 minute and check, because it cooks very fast. You just want to make it the top a little brown and crispy. Okay, it's done. And now, when it comes out, I want you to see, look at that, it's beautiful. See how it's a crispy brown under the top? Okay, now, this is very hot. So I use the mitt because it's very hot. Let's let that sit maybe 5-10 minutes to cool down, 15-20 minutes. Then we're going to cut a piece and we're going to eat. It's going to be delish. And remember, bring the kids in because they're going to love this. And they're going to say, my kids will say, Luigi, they don't call me Luigi, they call me Dad, but Dad, we love this macaroni pie. This is what they want instead of the macaroni and the cheese. And when I got a daughter now, she no leave here no more. When she comes home, she says, hey Dad, can you make the macaroni pie for me? She's a grown up, but she likes me to make a macaroni pie. So that's what I make. And in a minute, you're going to be able to make it too. And did you see how easy it was to make? It's no hard work. You don't got to be no specialist chef in the kitchen. You can be just a regular person, make a delicious meal. You serve this with a nice green salad. Oh, that's all you need. Okay, it's ready. Now we're going to cut it just like you cut a pie. You know, it's a crispy, so it's going to take a little bit of the work. You got to use a little bit of the elbow grease. You know, use a sharp knife, please. Don't complain, Luigi. I cannot cut this because your knife isn't sharp. We put it here. Now, it's kind of the dense, and this is the linguine. See, it's nice and brown on the top. You'll see a little bit of the black speck because of the black speck. That's the pepper. Okay, you make this, and a little green salad is going to be a full meal. That's all you need. And you can eat this with a knife and a fork, or if you're at home alone by yourself, you can pick it up. It's a little crunchy on the top, but the soft in the center. Oh, this is delicious. Now, if everything isn't eaten in the first time, you can put the leftover in the refrigerator. That's fine, because you can take it out later and you can eat it cold. It's good cold. I've eaten it cold. Or you can heat it up in the toaster oven. Either one, it's fine. Like I say, this is a very versatile dish, and everybody gets excited when I make this dish, except the dog. Okay, until next time, remember, now you can be the chef in your own kitchen. Ciao!